Have you ever found yourself outside late at night, alone, next to a scary dark cave and thought it would be a great idea to go exploring, but it was a little too dark? Yeah, me neither, but still, it's always smart to be prepared. Hey guys, I'm Jeremy in VR, I'm a creator here inside Rec Room, and today I'm going to show you how to create the simple torch and the simple flashlight for you to bring along with you on your adventures. Before we get started, let's come up with the game plan so we know what we're going to do. Oh. It looks like the sound is broken. Well, that's not good. To create the torch, we only need 3 things. First, we will begin by creating the torch. I'm going with a Minecraft theme today to keep it simple. Then we need a light source. And then we will need a clamp. And when we have those 3 things, we will connect the clamp to the torch and the light source. And that's it. Alright, let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is to take out your Makerpen. You can do that by going to your watch, then backpack, and then use your Makerpen. First, let's create the torch. I'm going to go with the Minecraft style just to keep it simple for now, but you can create any type of torch that you want. So to create the torch, first go to Palette, then Shapes, and I'm going to use the cube. I'm also going to go to Swatches, and I am using the wood grain and the ochre color. Now, go back to Tools, and for this, I'm going to set my snapping to grid. I'm working in world space, and I'm going to turn uniform shapes on. That'll make sure that it stays a cube. So now, with Create selected, I will create my first shape. This will be the handle for the torch. Next, I'm going to clone and click on the shape, and then click 1 time on this green arrow. That will be the Minecraft box flame. I'm going to go ahead and recolor it, so if you select Recolor, Material, go to Neon, and for this, I'm going to make it an amber color. There, now we have our flame. Now to make the handle longer, go to Manipulate, click on the handle, and then drag down the bottom square. Now we have our Minecraft torch, but there's no light that comes with it, so let's create that now. On your Makerpen, if you go to Palette, and then Search, I'm going to search for Light V1. If you click on the point light V1, that's the one we want. This point light will allow the light to shine in all directions. So, spawn the light right on top. Right now, the light is a standard white, but let's change it to yellow so it matches the torch. So if you go to Tools, Recolor, and I'll just select yellow. Now the last thing we need to add is a clamp to hold it all together. So go to Palette, Search, and type in clamp. Select the clamp, and spawn it nearby. Now on your Makerpen, go to Tools, Connect. Now we will connect the top part of the clamp to the light bulb, and the middle part of the clamp to the torch. Now the final step to make this a working torch is to go to Configure, click on the torch, and I will change mine to Decoration, and also I will click on Grabbable. And there we have it, our very own torch. And to create a flashlight, we do the same thing, but we just add 1 step to it. First, we will begin by creating the flashlight. And again, we will add a light source. And just like the torch, we'll add a clamp to hold it all together. And the one extra step that we have for the flashlight is to add a button so we can turn it on and off. And the final step is to clamp it all together. Now let's build the flashlight. I'm just going to create a simple flashlight, but you can design one as detailed as you'd like. First, I'm going to create the handle for the flashlight. So I'll go to Palette, Shapes, and click on Cylinder, and under Swatches, I have it set to black and shiny metal. Now I'll go back to Tools, Create, And again, making sure snapping is on grid, I'm working in world space, and I have uniform shape set on. I will begin to create my handle. Now I will click on Manipulate and bring it down a bit. Next, I will create the top part of the flashlight by going to Palette, Shapes, and for this, I am going to use a hemisphere. So now I will create the hemisphere, then go to Rotate, click on it, and then with the blue ring, I will click it 2 times, and now it rotates it 180 degrees. Now I can move this into place, try to center it on the handle. Now I'm going to create a little rim around the flashlight to add a little dimension to it. So I will go to Palette, and then down to Pipe, and then I'll create that at the top. Now going to Tools, so now selecting Move, I'm going to move it into place. I'm going to manipulate it to bring it down a bit. And then I might scale it up a little bit more. And you can play around with this to make it how you like it. Next, I'm going to clone, and then clicking on the hemisphere, I'm going to click on these 2 arrows. So if I click and drag up, now I have a mirror image of the hemisphere below. Now I'm going to recolor, Material, Neon, and for the color, White. And now I will color this to appear to be the light source. Now I can move this down into the flashlight, scale it from the inside, and then I can manipulate it to fit inside the flashlight. Now, like we did with the torch, you're going to add the light source and add a clamp. So, go to Palette, click on Search, and search for Spotlight. For the torch, we used a point light because that let the light shine in all directions, but for the flashlight, we want the spotlight because that will point the light in one direction. Alright, so let's add the spotlight above the flashlight, and then we will rotate it so it's pointing up. Now, I'll move this down into the flashlight, like that. Now that we have the spotlight, let's add the clamp. So go to Palette, Search, and type in Clamp. Select the clamp, and spawn it nearby. And now we need a button so we can turn the flashlight on and off. So, go to Palette, go back to Search, and type in Toggle, and there it is, Toggle button. That's what we need. And now I'll spawn it right in the middle. It's a bit big, so we'll go to Tools, Scale, and we can scale that down to become a small button. If this window is in the way, you can go to Configure, click on the window, and where it says Attachment Mode, you can change the Follow to Detached, go back to Tools, Move, and we can move that out of the way. And now we can move the button into place. Now let's clamp it all together by going to Connect, and from the top of the clamp, we will connect the light and the button. From the middle of the clamp, we will select the flashlight. Now let's go to Configure, we'll select the flashlight, we will change the physics mode to Decoration, and make sure that it is set to Is Grabbable. Now the final step in making this flashlight work is to wire the toggle button with the spotlight. To do so, we'll go to Connect, and we will click and drag the toggle button setting from pressed, and we will drag it to the spotlight where it says Turn On. And I will click and drag where it says Released to turn off. One final note is you can change the settings on your spotlight to make the light go further or stronger, or you can even change the color of the light. To do so, let's first turn on the flashlight, and it's best to do this in a dark space with the wall right in front of you so you can see the results. Now, if you go to Tools and Configure and click on the spotlight, you can see the intensity, the range, which is how far it will go, and you can even do the angle, which makes it a bigger light or a smaller light. And there you have it, your very own torch and flashlight for you to use on all your crazy adventures. This is about as far as I go inside the cave, so I'm going to head back outside, watch security. I'll give you this, and you can have that as well. And yeah, if you find any treasure, we can just split it 50-50. Perfect, yeah. All right, have fun, yeah. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing as it helps me out a lot. And if there's anything you'd like to learn how to build, let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And cut. All right, where's my car? And is Taco Bell still open? I'm craving a chalupa.